Hi everyone, it's Gail from O'Keefe Agencies. I'm here today with Tech Talk 3 and I want to talk to you today a little bit about spa infection control. So we know that in the salons and spa, it's very important that we need to keep our bacteria down to a number where they won't make anyone sick. We all know that we have bacteria around us at all times. We have airborne contaminants that settle. They become surface contaminants. Our hands are touching bacteria all the time. It's on our skin. We have bacteria in our mouth 24/7. So it's important that we keep our numbers low enough by practicing good hygiene. And this protects us and our clients, the staff in our salons and what have you. So when we talk about microbiology, it's the study of microbes that you have to have a microscope in order to see them. So they're very, very tiny. So we consciously know all this is around us. So we have to have good practices of hygiene. An example that's kind of scary is one bacteria that grows into 1.4 million approximately in an 8-hour span. So you can only imagine if you went home for the weekend and you came back and something wasn't clean, the spread of bacteria would be in gazillions, numbers that we can't even count. So today I want to tell you a little bit about some of the products that we use here at O'Keefe Agencies Training Center, and we find them immensely very, very efficient. So the first one I want to tell you about is the wash. So I'm just going to see, hopefully you can see that there. The name's pretty straightforward. Wash is what we would use for the cleaning of the tools, the scrubbing of the tools with the sink. I know for years and years we used antibacterial soaps. They're kind of gone now because soaps, they kind of let bacteria cling to them. So basically the wash is very low sudsing. It's based on accelerated hydrogen peroxide, and we use 1 part of the wash to 128 parts of water. So we get some room temperature water in the sink there. We scrub our tools to remove all organic matter. You need to do that because if you don't do that, your disinfectants or your chemosterilants that you use after will not be effective. So we need to remove all the organic matter by scrubbing every tool, 20 seconds a tool. Then we rinse, and the nice thing I like about the wash is that it rinses the suds. It's very low sudsing and it rinses very easy. So we rinse it off and we dry, and then we have to make a decision. Today am I going to disinfect, which would be a great level of cleaning, or will I do my ChemoSterile, which is the strongest level of cleaning? Now when it comes to disinfection, we use our RTU, preamped RTU. Now this is used straight like it is, RTU, ready to use. So this one here is a hospital grade disinfectant. So what I mean by hospital grade is that it actually will kill tuberculosis bacteria within 5 minutes. It actually does it in 3. So as long as your product can look after the tuberculosis bacteria in 5 minutes, you're allowed to put hospital grade on there. Okay? It also carries a DIN number. A DIN number is a drug identification number that is given by Health Canada to prove the efficacy or the effectiveness of a product, and this one has the DIN number. It has a shelf life of 2 years, and we use it with a sprayer. And after our tools come out of the wash and they're dried and we've chosen to disinfect, this is what we do. We put it on a clean paper towel, we spray it down, we turn it over, we spritz it again, we wait 3 minutes, that's our contact time, and then of course we dry our tools and we put them into a clean environment. RTU also comes in a canister. They're kind of like baby's wipes, however you don't use them on the baby, but it's saturated with the RTU liquid. So these are convenient for tabletops, wiping out light units, and different things. So it's great to have both on hand. So if you've done your tools, you've cleaned them, and you've had some suspicious conditions, we'll say, and that could be blood, mold, pus, warts, anything whereby you know that it's contaminated and it can spread infection. You would go 1 level higher and go into your ChemoSterile. So ChemoSterile is called CS20 that we use. This goes into an actual tray, and what happens once you've cleaned the tools and you've rinsed them and dried them, you'll bypass the disinfecting process and go right to the CS20. All the tools lay into the tray. When you close the tray, they're totally submerged, and the 20 minutes that they remain in the tray for full chemosterilization. Okay, and this one here is good for 2 weeks in the tray as well. So once you've put it in the tray, you can use it as many and as often as you want, and make sure that when it's ready after the 20 minutes, you're going to take it out, rinse it under the water, dump it onto a paper towel and dry and put the tools away, dry the water off the inside tray because it's all perforated and it has a tendency to hold the water. Then you put it back into the actual tray itself, put it in a place out of reach of children, and it's good for 2 whole weeks. So just to let you know, if you want to brush up a little bit more on your hygiene, because it's probably been a long time since you've done that, and we know that germs certainly, have changed over the years. They've become much stronger and much more resistant. But you can do the spa infection control course here with us. It is a 3-hour program. You will have a quiz at the end of the class, and as long as you achieve 80% in that, you're good to go. So basically, you can call O'Keeffe's anytime and register for that, and we would be happy to have you on board. What else do I want to tell you about that today? So that's just kind of a little short version of the preamp line. And just to recap, the wash for the tools, okay, mixes 1 part to 128. You have your disinfecting process. And if disinfectants do come in low, intermediate, and high level disinfection, so this is your RTU that you're going to disinfect your tools with. And just to remind you that if you're working with bacterial spores, your disinfecting process kills specific microorganisms. So it doesn't look after bacterial spores. They're the hard ones to kill. They kind of have like a casing around them, and they're very hard to penetrate. And that's where you need a full-fledged, chemosterilant. So this would be your CS20. So that's the complete line. That's all you absolutely need to practice 100% good hygiene in your salon or spa. So if you'd like to register for a class, please give me a call at O'Keeffe Agencies and we'll get you registered for that. It's just a 3-hour program. It comes with a manual as well as your certification. So I think every salon and spa needs it. We have many salons out there, and years ago we were all guilty of starting with rubbing alcohol and do everything with our cleaning with rubbing alcohol. Well, the problem with rubbing alcohol these days is that it's no longer recognized by Health Canada because it doesn't have the ability to stay wet for the 10-minute contact time. And what I mean by that, if you're spraying down a table, for instance, with rubbing alcohol, in order for that to be disinfected properly, it needs to stay in a wet state for a minimum of 10 minutes. And it doesn't have the ability to do that because it's very much a drying compound. It dries right off very quickly. If you've ever used it, you'll notice that. And the other thing with it is that it only looks after parvovirus. Not any human viruses does it kill. Parvovirus is the one that you have in the vet clinics for the animals. So again, not the most effective product that you want to use in your salon. One last little bonus I'd like to tell you about the preamp line is that it has all of its Eco Logo certifications, all the green certifications, and you don't have to worry about the disposal of this. You can pour it down the sink, the toilet, put it in the garbage and tissues, what have you, but it all evaporates to oxygen and water. So that's an amazing thing, totally biodegradable, which is another huge bonus. So that's it for my little spiel on hygiene for today. Please call me if you have any questions and I'll be happy to try and answer them for you. So just a little reminder to certainly subscribe to our page, and don't forget about our Paddy's Day. Paddy's Day is quickly approaching, and don't forget our contest. We look forward to you entering and picking a great winner for Paddy's Day. So that's it for now. I will see you again in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to tech talking with you soon. Bye for now.